Hey everybody, coming to you live tonight in the office. We just finished watching the Vancouver Canucks lose to the San Jose Sharks. Drew, what happened tonight?
Call it what you want to call it, but that Joe Thornton plays a lot of hockey.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. He managed to get an assist tonight,
I get an
or
assist and was +1 tonight.
assist and +1. So that's not bad. He played well. Um, what exactly happened there? The Canucks they let one in. 1 minute left in the game. Obviously, we had a 1-0 lead. That's not enough. It wasn't like I don't think we choked it because we didn't really have a insured lead. Anyways, we had one goal. We gotta be scoring more goals. We got a lot of talent on this team, and yet we got a guy like David Booth, who just isn't producing. $4.5 million player, not producing. We got guys like Kessler. He's not scoring. What is going to happen if we get into the playoffs and we let stuff like this happen? Is this acceptable?
Well, we've seen Torts pull the strings before, and I'm confident with where we are.
You're confident with where we're at? I'm confident where we are too, but
However, Booth, $4.5 million, I have to say, he has to do a little bit better.
yeah, I have to agree with that as well. Enough about that. Let's jump into our fantasy hockey league in-depth analysis. There was a lot of action happening around in the league today. Let's start with the Sultry Bay Otters because they made their first acquisition at 11:27 a.m. Patrice Bergeron was added. David Clarkson was dropped from their team. Any thoughts on this? Was this pretty standard? Just, David Clarkson's not producing. Let's give Patrice Bergeron a try, basically. I mean, what was Clarkson only had one assist on the year. He was a -2.
Clarkson's been given a shot, and
He just didn't
he was
produce.
just coming off injury, and
Yeah.
he didn't live up to expectations.
So he added Patrice Bergeron, 6 goals, 3 assists, +4. Yeah, good solid hockey player. Could end up having a good season.
Playing on the first line of the Boston Bruins.
Okay, then he makes another trade here. It was at 4:57 p.m. This is where everything starts to heat up, was in the p.m. But Sultry Bay Otters then drop Mike Green, which was 0 goals, 11 assists though, -6, and he is day-to-day injuries. For Radko Gudas, 1 goal, 5 assists, +5. This has got to be an educated guess here that Radko, maybe he has some more in-depth analysis that we don't, because as far as looking at stats right now, nothing too pretty, but who knows? Maybe he's going to have some amazing stuff. He was 3.3 fantasy points tonight, so we'll see what happens as far as that goes. The next acquisition was at 5:37. That was the Baltimore Wildcats, and they dropped Jonathan Quick and injured Jonathan Quick for Steve Mason. Nothing too surprising there. Then dropped Derek Stepan for Brian Little. Any thoughts on that?
Little's on a hot streak, and he's on the first line of Winnipeg, starting to get some chemistry going.
Derek Stepan, not really producing this year. The only night was a really good night where he got a hat trick. Other than that,
big hat trick.
A big hat trick, 18-point fantasy point night.
But
4 goals, 9 assists on the night. Nothing too special. So we'll give Brian Little a shot, see what he does. The other hot free agent in the league has been picked up, Shane Doan, by you, actually. You dropped Justin Williams. Are you happy with this acquisition?
Turning out to be a good acquisition so far, Paul.
Yeah, he had a good night tonight. You got to watch those acquisitions, though. You already used 10 of them. Fairly active in the league.
Open to trades.
Yeah, open to trades. And then at 9:56 p.m., the Sultry Bay Otters announced that they have dropped Pekka Rinne. Do we have an idea of? Yeah, that's right. He's experienced a hip injury basically, and he was on the injury reserve. According to the statement released Sunday, Rene will remain on crutches with antibiotics for at least the next couple of weeks before a follow-up MRI in late November. The team expects him to make a full recovery, but has not set an official target date for his return. So he could be out 6 to 8 weeks in my mind. For anybody that doesn't have anybody on their injury reserve, this would be a good one to put him on. Just to have him there. Then when he does come back, you could put him in the lineup. Unfortunately for me, I have 2 or 3 people that are on the injury reserve right now. I can't even put anybody there. And then the big trade happened. It was Alexander Steen for Taylor Hall and Daniel Sedin. We had a small media release from the Cranberry Cardinals, and I'll just let you guys listen to it right now.
My insider told me to take a look at my voicemail, and sure enough, the Wildcats, who we were in constant negotiations with before this deal, put a table on we could not refuse. In the best interest of the organization, I would like to announce that we have traded Alexander Steen and dropped Kyle Okposo for Taylor Hall and Daniel Sedin of the Vancouver Canucks and Edmonton Oilers. We look forward to seeing how our hockey organization works out in the future.
Wow, yeah. So that's what we heard from the Cranberry Cardinals. We also had this from the Baltimore Wildcats. Yeah, the Baltimore Wildcats would like to proudly welcome Alexander Steen to the organization. This is nothing against Daniel Sedin or Taylor Hall. We just weren't quite there. We've been in negotiations with Daniel and Taylor for some time now, and just couldn't get anything going. We wish them all the best in Cranberry, and we're hoping they do well there. We're happy to announce Alexander Steen. You know, he's top 5 fantasy points in the league right now. He's been hot, and we're hoping that he stays that way. It's a gamble either way, but we're happy with the outcome of the trade. Okay, so there you have it. Those were the media releases from both teams, and that's pretty much it. Other than that, we had the big trade on November 11th, which was the Myrtle Point Mallards and the Sultry Bay Otters. Mallards trading Ryan Kessler and Kevin Shattenkirk to Sultry Bay, Jason Garrison, and Martin St. Louis. Any thoughts on this, Drew?
Well, St. Louis is continuing to show that he is the cagey veteran that he is. Garrison, Shattenkirk, and Kessler all proven contenders. I think this is a pretty even trade.
Yeah, I think so too. I thought it was a pretty standard trade. It could just be, trying to shake things up in both teams. Marty St. Louis, he's always been one of my favorites to have. But, Kessler's right there as well. He's playing front line. He's playing, both power plays. He's playing penalty kills. He's getting a lot of ice time. So we'll see. I think that both players haven't quite hit their peak yet. Marty St. Louis was 7-9 with a +9 on the year. And I think Ryan Kessler was 9-5, -4 on the year, but again, hasn't quite hit his peak yet. He was a -1 tonight against San Jose, and it's one of those ones where I'm not sure exactly. I think it could have gone either way. Both teams, I think, did pretty well there. What's happening in the league these days? I mean, that Johnny Muckler Memorial Trophy. Look, this has been an active year, Drew. How are you feeling about the activity happening this year? I mean,
I like it.
A lot of trades so far.
We've really opened the 20 acquisitions.
Yeah, it's been one of those things. Yeah, that 20 acquisitions. I've already used 7, but that's mainly because of injury troubles. This has been one of those seasons where it's been interesting. It's been very interesting. Speaking of that, who is the league for trophies right now? That's something I want to look at. Let's just see here. I'm just going to pull this up. Okay, so the of all time trophy leader right now is the Pandora Burrowing Badgers with a total of 7 good trophies and a total of 18 stars. That's very good. Just below that, this would be the Sultry Bay Otters, 15 stars, 5 good, 0 bad. Myrtle Point Mallards are third of all-time trophy leaders, 7 good, 16 stars, just right behind the Otters there. This actually, if Myrtle Point could pick up a few stars this year, look for them leading the league in trophies. So, you know, I mean, there's a lot of trophies still up for grabs. You've got the again that Johnny Muckler and a few other ones. Team of the Month, those give you some good stars.
The Playmakers.
Yeah, Playmakers a big one too. The Sniper, Team of the Month, Rick Rippon Memorial. Those are all good ones. The Gold Jacket. On below that, we got the Yorkshire Hat-Tricks. 3 good, 0 bad. They've got 11 stars. And then me, the Baltimore Wildcats, 3 and 1. 5 stars, and then the Vancouver Nordiques 3 and 1, 3 stars, and then you with 1 and 3, 2 stars. Unfortunate, you've got a couple of those Dave Nonis memorials at the end of the season where it's just kind of like, it's one of those things you just got to deal with, I guess. It's nothing too crazy. Let's jump into our Around the NHL section. What do we have? What happened tonight anyways? The Islanders lost to LA 2-3, 3-2 for LA. Is New York Islanders in trouble right now, or what's going on?
They certainly aren't playing their best hockey of the year.
Yeah, or LA has been playing some good hockey. How was... Oh, right, that's right, we got to talk about that. San Jose beating Patrick Waugh and the Colorado Avalanche 7-3. Is this something to expect from Colorado? They thought they were a pretty big
it happens.
defensive team. Did we just file that under it happens?
I think it's a good thing almost for Varlamov. It certainly sets him as the clear number 1.
Yeah, it does do good for Varlamov, who's dealing with a lot of legal battles. Semyon the Kidnapper Varlamov made a media statement release earlier today.
Huge media statement.
That goes a lot like this. Hello everybody, this is Semyon Varlamov. I'm making this media statement basically telling everybody to fuck off with my family business. I did not kidnap anyone. You can ask anyone. I was at home feeding my family and having a sleep when the kidnapping happened. I did not kidnap anyone, and I never will. Okay, so we got that from Semyon. That's interesting. Do you buy that? Is that buyable? He was at home.
Hard to say. I don't have any connections to Semyon.
Neither do I. I don't have any. I've never really met him in real life. I met him at the that charity ball meeting or whatever, that charity golf tournament. And I saw him and I met him and we had a coffee and I was just talking to him and he didn't look like a kidnapping kind of guy. I couldn't see that from him. He was really soft spoken, easygoing guy. He was doing a lot for the charity. He's a good young kid and he's a damn good hockey player. And I think that any of the media has been all over him and we don't want to be one of those people, but that's it. Also, Patrick Waugh released a statement as well after the game against St. Louis tonight. We were actually at that game and we asked him, basically you can listen to it. Mr. Waugh, how did you feel about dropping 7 goals to St. Louis tonight? Would you ever allow 7 goals in your career as a goaltender? Sorry, what was that? I can't really hear you under all these Stanley Cup wins. So fuck off. Yeah, Patrick, that doesn't really answer the question. Next question. So that's what we got from Patrick Waugh. Was that, do you buy that? Is that okay? So he's won Stanley Cup.
That is definitely not okay.
I didn't think that.
From a media perspective.
From a professional?
I feel like you have to answer those questions.
Yeah, from a professional. And I know Patrick Waugh's got an image to keep up, but we ask him these questions politely, and
all you have to say is yes or no.
Yeah, yes sir, no sir, yeah, whatever. It'd be nice to actually get a real answer from him at once instead of I can't hear you under all these Stanley Cup wins. That to me it's really Patrick. So
it's a little getting old, isn't it, Patrick?
So Patrick, if you're listening to this right now, come on, grow up. We're done. We're done here. So what happened? I mean, you took third place, did you? Oh no, you didn't.
No, it's official.
Yeah, it's official. You took it. 45 points tonight. You're up only by 16 points though. Don't get too cocky. You're right there. And actually,
I felt actually a little put in my place by the badges in the Nordiques tonight. I all of a sudden I had the lead. Looked over, 12 points down on both of them.
Well, not just that, the Pandora Brewing Badgers as well, 58 points on the night. Wow. Yeah, that was a big fantasy night. I didn't even participate. 15.25.
And the Nordiques.
For sure. But, I mean, at this point, we're just kind of expecting that from the Nordiques.
Yeah.
They're running away with this one early and not really surprised by it. Their team is a very good team. The Mallards, they got a little work to do. But they're not nearly out of it. As we've seen in many seasons before, you have a couple 100-point nights, a couple other, hockey's get streaky, right? And there's always that after the Christmas break. You just got to stick with it and, hope for good things. And any thoughts on the Myrtle Point Mallard so far this year, Drew?
Stick with it, Myrtle Point. We are praying for your hockey club.
No, I wouldn't quite say praying. We're hoping for good things, a Merry Christmas, get a couple fantasy points. But, you know what? It happens. He dealt with some injury troubles and a few other things. The Yorkshire Hat-Tricks, Sultry Boy Otters, they're right behind me here. They're right behind everybody. I mean, nobody's really out of it yet. We've got an early season. Everybody's still in it. What else happened around the league today? Drew, any active insight?
I think there might be some negotiations on the table between the West.
Right, yeah. Let's read that newest message that was posted. The media release.
Rob McKenzie.
Yeah, Rob McKenzie, brother of Bob McKenzie here. Jeff Robertson posted trade winds are a swirling, and they tweeted out earlier. Basically, things just to check their media release, and Jeff Robertson, manager, tweeted out, check the media release and tell us what you guys think. So we checked it, and this is what we heard. And this is out of Sultry Bay. Rumor surfacing out of Sultry Bay late this evening that the Otters are shopping goaltender Kerry Lettinen. Word is they are looking for a forward averaging over 4.0 points per game, or a forward and a defenseman, both averaging over 3.0 points per game. Also hearing that for the right price, star goaltender Ben the Bishop could be moved for the right price. It seems as though the Otters are looking to make some major changes, and a big shakeup is in store for the team. And then we got this message from the front office in Sultry Bay. Yeah, hello, we here in the Otters organization are welcoming any trade proposals. All things will be considered. And this message brought to you by Rob McKenzie, brother of Bob McKenzie, head of league media relations. So that's interesting. What do you take of that?
I like it. He's obviously keeping the league updated on current negotiations.
Yeah,
maybe one too many to count. Obviously, it deserves a post in the front office.
Yeah, I'd like to get Rob McKenzie on the show.
I'd like to hear whatever other people have to say about their negotiations. Even
yeah, so would I.
Guest speaker on the show, talk about what they're planning in their future.
Yeah, maybe a sort of a. Get somebody on speakerphone for the next radio show and just see what happens. That reminds me, I just wanted to thank you guys all for subscribing and liking our last videos. I think we hit 35 views last week. So, Drew, yeah, thank you. Ding, ding, ding for coming out and listening to the show, liking, subscribing, favoriting. It does a lot for our show and really, really doing big things over here in the office. Are we not, Drew?
Working on it.
We are. Any business ideas coming to life here lately? Or?
We have got a sunglass line coming out soon. We'll keep you guys tuned.
Yeah, we've got our own sunglasses company coming out very soon.
Giveaway on.
We're probably going to do it. Yeah, we're going to do a big giveaway, maybe like a trivia where you guys can text in the answer. Winner will be receiving one of our first ever products that we're getting. It's going to be our own line of sunglasses. And I'm very looking forward to this, Drew. This is going to be, this is going to be our ticket to riches, and I'm very excited to get into business, and it's going to be exciting. So everybody just keep your eyes out, and it's going to be pretty fun. Okay, next we want to talk about league. What's rumoring around the league right now? Are we liking the points, how the points are being distributed lately? I mean, how about goalies making only 0.25
well,
per
first we were
save?
going to make it 0.4 for saves.
Yeah.
And now it's 0.25. I don't know if we want to have another vote for next year. Or if everybody's happy with that.
Something to throw out there. So far, it doesn't really change anything for me because I'm getting 2.25. Everyone else is getting 0.25. So it doesn't really change it. We're all getting the same point distribution anyways. So it's interesting. It's very interesting. The Vancouver Nordiques winning trophy team of the month. Not surprised. They played very well in October. They had a very good first month. Even though the highly acclaimed Wildcats, they got 3 votes. 43% of the league said that the Wildcats were gonna have the best opening month of the season. And to be fair, they had a good first month. They were up there in the top 3 for the month. They played well. Only 100 back of the leader, but definitely didn't lead the league. But as shown in previous seasons,
injury prone. I think they were a little bit banged up. They could have been first.
Oh, for sure.
Had they not been so banged up.
Literally every single one of my acquisitions have been used for injuries. It's been ridiculous. I challenge any team to that should almost be a trophy in its own.
I want to go off the record a little bit here. Not talking about our league or anything here, but Matt Moore and Steve Olson were actually down in
Hawaii,
Hawaii for the wedding of Lindsay and McConnell Loretta.
And that's interesting.
That's good news for them. I'd like to wish them
congratulations.
Happy marriage.
Yeah, for sure. And wishing all the best from the office and our future sunglasses line. That's again something when we have our new sunglasses company out, we could have sent them maybe a pair of sunglasses.
Yeah, it would have been nice
as a wedding gift. Yeah, as a wedding gift or something. They could have brought them down, and everybody could have worn the sunglasses. It would have been a pretty big promotional event for us. But no, that's really solid. I'm really happy for them. I'm really happy for the league. Congratulations. Back on the record.
What about Derek Morris? He got banged up the first
time. Oh, jeez. I pick him up. This is the kind of luck I have this year. I've been making good pickups too. I picked up Derek Morris, he is 4 goals, 6 assists, plus 2 on the year. So he's got 10 goals in 14 games, or 10 points in 14 games played, 18 shots on net. Young guy, really young guy. And then he basically, as soon as I pick him up, he gets injured. Lower body, will not play. There was some hope that Morris will come off the injury reserve. He's not off yet. Any thoughts on this? Or?
Just more bad luck for the Wildcats.
Yeah, just more bad luck. Defensive troubles.
Just get better. Feel better soon.
We got Getzlaff,
we need
Vanek.
you. Johnny Quick, Vanek,
yeah,
Morris,
Quick, Stamkos.
We need you.
Taylor Hall for a while.
Soft.
It's been interesting. So we'll see. We're gonna let it play out anyways and see what happens as far as that goes. Any other rumors swirling around the league, Drew?
Kessel for Malkin was that trade negotiation I actually heard of.
That you received, or
I received from the West Warriors.
Really?
Had to decline politely though.
Oh, okay, because that'd be an interesting one. Malkin for Kessel. I would almost consider that. That's interesting.
I got a little bit of a bias towards Kessel. He's been on my team in years past, and you're not going to get him off for some Russian, I'll tell you that.
Well, it's not
as much as I like Malkin.
It's not some Russian. Let's look at the stats here on the end. And I'll admit, Malkin hasn't played his best. Malkin's got 3 goals, 13 assists. He's at -5 on the year. Phil Kessel's 10 goals, 9 assists, and he's a +5. So, okay, I think you've got him there. I think Phil Kessel is having the better year, but it is Evgeny Malkin. I mean, let's not get too hasty here. It's still Evgeny Malkin.
Former Art Ross winner.
Former, number one of the number one hockey players in the league.
Not his year, and he's Russian.
What was he? He was drafted 4th overall, 5th overall?
4th overall.
He was drafted 4th overall.
I was
That's
actually
right.
thinking about taking him.
It went Stamkos, Ovechkin, Stamkos, Crosby, Ovechkin, Malkin. And, geez, wow. That's interesting. Right, and then the Pandora Brewing Badgers went with
great draft pick,
Jonathan Tavares.
Pandora Brewing Badgers.
Yeah, again, wow. Their drafting has been very, very insightful. It's been interesting, anyways. Jonathan Tavares, what's he doing this year? 8 goals, 14 assists, +1. So basically doing what you'd expect from a number 1 draft pick in the league. He's also got Pavel Datsyuk. Wow, that was a good grab. That's one that I'm gonna grab next year, I think, if I can. Is a Pavel Datsyuk if he's still available, because he always somehow comes up with some crazy wild points. What's the defenseman you like in the league this year? What's any big names?
Somebody who's caught my eye, who I've been keeping my eye on, is Jan Hejda.
Yeah, wow, he's been interesting as well for sure.
And some disappointment has been Dustin Byfuglien.
Yeah.
Biggest disappointment.
Oliver Elkman-Larson has been interesting this year. He's up there. PK Subban was a good pick. Erik Karlsson is a good pick for sure. Who else is doing good this year? Yeah, a bunch of good names, bunch of big names. I mean, if you're averaging 3.0 fantasy points per night, you're a good solid defenseman in this league. Dustin Byfuglien's right there, 2.7. Kevin BX is up there, so yeah, I mean that's pretty much it, I guess. Hey, Drew, for the segment tonight. Any other words that you want to say? Or?
That Joe Thornton, call it what you want to call it, plays a lot of hockey.
Yeah, he does. Yes, he does. That's pretty much our segment for the night. Like, subscribe, favorite this video if you guys liked it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks a lot, guys, for listening, and have yourself a great weekend. We'll catch up with you soon.